This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
We're back again,
and I'm back,
and Derek's back. We're back, better than ever. We're back.
What is nougat?
It's the gad of news. I don't fucking know.
I think
I've
it's
always
like
wondered what nougat
like
is.
A caramel nut mixture.
It's when you take a little bit of jizz and add some sugar.
Oh god!
And then it solidifies a little bit.
Shut the fuck up.
I always usually just explain it as the soft, fluffy stuff inside of a Three Musketeers bar.
That's what I say about my stomach fat.
My quest for wisdom continues.
It is podcast day.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Welcome to episode 120. Is that the only move you know? We're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat. Not the old one, not the games, but the new movie. Didn't I tell y'all when we were playing, you, Cole, and Angela, didn't I tell y'all that if there wasn't a dubstep version of the Mortal Kombat song that I was going to be pissed? Yep. And then what the fuck happened was a dubstep version of the motherfucking Mortal Kombat.
I remember we were watching the credits, and I was like, "Oh, Eddie got what he wanted."
I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah!" But yeah, we're gonna talk about the movie, what we thought about it, how we feel about others' feelings towards it, because this seems to be a very polarizing movie for some reason. It hasn't even been a week by the time this recording.
In theaters.
And in theaters, yes.
Kind of wish I saw this in theaters because it's a really good movie.
It would have been a lot of fun.
It's a great popcorn movie,
in theaters, man.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I wish I would have seen it also, but it was nice to just watch it at home.
Right.
It was nice to just kind of have it. But first, let's get on with the nerd news. So we got a list of people that were released from the WWE not too long ago. Billy Kay, Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Tucker Kalisto, Wesley Blake, Samoa Joe, Bo Dallas, Peyton Royce, and Mojo Rawley.
Samoa Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh.
And, which sucks, because Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, that was not their fault.
That was totally not their fault. I mean, they're just victims of the writers deciding to split them up and then go, you know what? You're no good alone.
Yeah.
Like, which they are. They just didn't write them anything to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's crazy.
But some of those I didn't know were still even employed.
Yeah, true. Like Mojo Rawley.
Yeah, Mojo Rawley. Like,
Dallas.
What? Bo Dallas? They haven't done anything with Bo Dallas longer than they haven't done anything with Mojo Rawley.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
It's so wild. And out of those, there were a couple of people who took to Twitter.
Oh, uh-huh.
Mickie James took to Twitter and got a picture of her stuff. Like, she took a picture of the stuff, like, they just send you your things or whatever, your belongings.
Oh, gotcha.
So she took a picture of her belongings, and they were in a box, and in that box were her belongings inside of trash bags.
Wow.
What the fuck, bro?
And so, they're like, hey, Vince, I don't know if you're aware, but this is how they're sending us our shit. Yeah. And Maria Kanellis, she, who was released last year, she was like, yeah, with like laughing emojis. She was like, yeah, I got one too.
Wow.
Yeah, and so when Triple H saw the tweet, he was like, okay, we took care of this. The person who did this is no longer working for us.
Fuck.
Like, they immediately fired that person.
Dude.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah. They were just like, nope, that's not what's happening. Like, we're not doing that.
That's not a thing.
And it sucks that it's happening to the women wrestlers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even worse. But
interesting.
So there are two arrivals to the WWE that I wanted to talk about. One who goes by the name of Sarai, and she's super big in Japanese wrestling.
She's Sarite. Anyway.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Not gonna. Nope. Not
No,
gonna
I'm
say
back.
it.
I'm back. I told you.
And so she had her first match on NXT, and she's really good, super good, super entertaining. But like all Japanese female wrestlers are really, really talented.
Yeah.
And Taya Valkyrie, who, her name is Frankie Monet.
Frankie Monet.
So yeah, Frankie Monet, aka Taya Valkyrie, aka John Morrison's wife.
Oh, interesting.
She's been with Impact for years, and she just recently debuted.
Oh, on wrestling news, I believe, and I'd have to look it up to be sure, but I believe that Matt Cardona,
Zack
Ryder, is having his going away match coming up.
Oh, he's retired.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
But yeah, I saw a tweet to that effect.
Wild. But yeah, so wrestling news has been quite crazy.
Rather eventful.
Mm-hmm.
Rather main eventful.
It makes me wonder, like, because that shit is so out of pocket that it makes me think that not good things are being said about the WWE right
Well,
now.
yeah, because I mean, it's insane to have a product where how well a wrestler does is directly and solely based on how you write the story, to then turn around and hold them responsible for what you did with that story.
Right, they can only do so
Is
much.
fucking dumb. Like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, like you can only do so much with the
Yeah.
story, right? Like that's it's one of the reasons why people get repackaged. You know what I mean? Like Kane. Remember when he was Dr. Isaac Yankem?
Yeah.
DDS. He was a dentist.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, Dr. Isaac Yankem. You know, like
Okay.
but then they
That's cool.
they repackaged him into Steve Austin was stunning. Steve Austin. He had like this like blonde hair and he was like a pretty boy.
Dude, he was the most milquetoast, like unimpressive, like as far as wrestling, yes, but like the character was just so plain, so plain.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Weird.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it just all goes back to who they like and who they don't like.
Or who Vince likes. And who
Well,
he-
exactly, because if he likes him, he's gonna go ahead and go, all right, let's change some things up, and then we're on our way.
which is why we've got Big E and Apollo feud because they're big boys.
Yeah,
He loves
exactly.
big boys.
Yeah, but if they're not his favorites, your story fails. You're fucking done.
Just like what is it? Kushida. Kushida was this super dope guy in New Japan, and he had this like Back to the Future gimmick.
Oh,
It was super dope. Yeah, like he'd come out in like the life preserver jacket
Really?
and like everything, and like he gets on the top of the rope and looks at his watch and stuff.
No shit.
But like now, there's none of that there.
Yeah.
yeah, or the one wrestler that was with Asuka, what's her name?
Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane. Like, she was awesome. And, like, how cool would it have been for them to do, WrestleMania with the pirate theme with Kairi Sane around?
Yeah, are they still doing the pirate theme?
No, she's fired. Or no, she quit.
No. I mean,
Didn't she?
like
Oh, you mean in general?
as a whole.
Well, because didn't they do it at last year's WrestleMania too?
That's what I
did.
was curious about. I was
like they just sort of redid it
Well, yeah, because they
didn't continue it. They
Well, they
didn't
wanted
talk
to-
about it until WrestleMania again.
They wanted to do it in Tampa,
Oh.
and it was like right when COVID hit, so they had to do it at the Performance Center, and they were like, "Well, this is dumb," and so
Yeah.
they just now that we're on the mend or whatever,
And they
they're
could
like,
quote unquote do it right.
yeah, they're
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, that's fucking dumb.
yeah.
You should have just moved on and did something new.
Right. Maybe come back to it in a few years.
Another crazy thing: Bad Bunny's appearances in the WWE.
Who the fuck is Bad Bunny?
He's some sort of Latin hip hop artist.
Yeah, he's a
right?
reggaeton artist. He brought the WWE's Hispanic viewership up 31%.
Jesus
Are you serious?
Christ.
No, he's
And you know what though? Like watching him perform, like he took that shit serious and he did great. Like as annoying.
I literally saw one TikTok yesterday about a Bad Bunny, a character named Bad Bunny. Now all I'm seeing is TikToks about Bad Bunny.
I Like It Like That by Cardi B. The guy that she's got on there speaking Spanish, that's Bad Bunny.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's really,
He has a song that
it's really cool.
he has a song featuring Drake where Drake sings in Spanish.
Oh, is that one? Okay.
So, yeah, no, he's big. He's multi-platinum. He's won 2
I'm
Grammys.
seeing people spend for a lot of fucking money, 4-digit ticket sales for this thing.
By the way, to kind of intermingle the two things we've already talked about, I saw this online the other day, and I fully agree. But somebody was like, "How cool would it be if for Johnny Cage, it was Miz?" Like, because he's just that total embodiment of this cocky douchebag. Like, and I was like,
From Hollywood.
yeah, and I was like, oh my god, that would actually be fucking perfect.
Miz would actually knock it out the park.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, he brought up Hispanic viewership,
Yeah.
31%. It's almost as if you put Latinos in wrestling,
Then Latinos will watch it.
you know, and you don't make them the bad guy, Andrade
Or
Cien
bury them.
Almas,
Or bury them.
or bury them, you know, Andrade Cien Almas,
Or who else?
Lucha House.
Yeah,
Party.
Lucha House Party.
to House Party. Yeah,
Like, good God.
like looks like that Latinos would watch wrestling.
Feels like they got a bunch of monkeys running shit over there. In
Well,
the
I mean,
WWE.
Latinos do watch wrestling, just not WWE.
It's true. They'll watch CMLL
Yeah.
or AAA.
Yeah, they'll watch something, where people are actually treated properly.
Right.
Weird.
Strange.
What else do we have for news?
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Mystery Science Theater.
Ooh.
So, for those of you familiar with Mystery Science Theater, probably already know about the Kickstarter that has begun. For those of you who don't, Mystery Science Theater is a group of guys who sit around, watch movies, and riff them the entire time. They just crack jokes throughout the entire movie, and they'll do little host segments that are fun and all that kind of shit. Anyway, it's been around since the late 80s. Great show. Well, off and on since the late 80s. Great show. So check it out if you haven't. It's all over the place on Tubi, on all sorts of different apps. But there's a Kickstarter going on right now because they are trying to. They came out with a new iteration on Netflix, so check that out. But Netflix decided not to pick it up like they do with all sorts of good shows. But they're now doing a Kickstarter to basically do it on their own and say, fuck having a network. So they've already gotten their minimum goal, and we're just going through stretch goals now. But it's really fucking cool. So contribute if you can. Check it out if you haven't already. Great shit. It's one of the few things that, growing up, my dad and I actually had a common interest in. So, that's kind of the place in my heart it has for me. Plus, it's funny as fuck. But anyway, so yeah, check that out. What news do you have, Cole?
It appears that Sony has finally revealed that they have ears.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It looks like the PS3 and the PS Vita stores are going to remain open.
Right.
Ooh.
What that means for people developing games for the Vita, I don't know. Because there's still, there's probably half a dozen developers that are still making games for the Vita. And they still don't really even know if they can do that. But in a very un-Sony way, they're like, hey, we made the wrong decision and we're gonna reverse that. I just thought it was very strange. On my birthday, nonetheless, which was fucking awesome.
Right.
It was a great birthday gift. But I don't know, I just thought it was weird. Because Sony doesn't do that. They usually stick to their guns, and they usually like, hey, this is what we're doing. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like it. So, very interesting. And I'm wondering, because it's still very Sony. They didn't really elaborate on anything on whether or not they're going to allow newer titles to come to the service or not, but who knows. But thank God.
Right. Oh, we got the end of Verdansk in Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? Cool.
Yeah. It's alright. You know, I'm not even
Is
playing.
it really the end though? Like,
It's a the end question mark?
yeah. Well, like they shot us back in time, and undeveloped,
Yeah.
Reverse developed.
undeveloped the map, so it looks like
The
undeveloped. I guess like everything's like not like
I don't know. It's
just
cool.
tall and
Like,
stuff.
it's a cool little refresh. What's hard to believe is that game's only a year old. I'm like, what? What?
It feels a lot longer, yeah.
Well, and then you start thinking about it, and it's like, oh, there was blackout mode in Black Ops 4, which was fucking trash, and no one can tell me differently.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Warzone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really couldn't care about Verdansk ever since we started playing Rebirth, because Rebirth Island.
Rebirth is so nice.
Rebirth Island just takes everything that's fun about Warzone and just condenses it.
Yeah.
And makes it like it's a smaller map. It's
Less
less
people.
than half of the amount of people that go on Verdansk. Like, and you immediately drop onto good guns and a ton of money so you can buy your loadout, and so you're constantly working on your loadout, and like Rebirth is just so much fun. And when they did that,
it's a lot more faster paced too, which is nice.
yeah, and when they did that, it feels like you're constantly in game, you know, like, and you're always doing something too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, Rebirth Island is just so much more fun for me
I agree.
compared to Verdansk, and we've put some fucking hours into Verdansk.
Yeah, we have.
Like, we really gave that shit the college try,
We really
and we
did.
even pulled some dubs out of it. But
Yeah. But
we've won more times in Rebirth Island in one weekend than we did of the entirety of the year playing Verdansk.
yeah. Yeah.
So that should say something. And it doesn't mean it's any easier, because it's not. You're still getting paired up with sweats all the time. Mm-hmm. And these people don't fuck around. Especially when you're seeing everyone, like all these fucking loadout TikToks and everything with these people, and they're like, oh, the new meta. You know, like, this
Right.
is the new
Dude.
powerful gun and everything.
Like, remember when the Psychoff came out, dude? Like,
Christ.
Dude.
And now they don't do shit.
yeah. Everybody
they
had the
nuked
Psychoff.
the fuck out of those things.
So it was these pistols, and you could get it to where you have 50 clip drums
Jesus.
on the pistols with rapid fire triggers. So it was literally like having machine gun.
Yeah.
And you saw these dudes running around, but like, boy, those
Decimating teams. Like, in fucking seconds, they were just
And
done.
Cole, and every time Cole would die, he would hot mic and say, "You wouldn't be shit without those pistols."
I'd say even worse things. I'd be like, what was one of my favorite ones is, and that I got used on me, so I have to recycle it because I fucking love it. The guy, like, and it was so funny because he timed it so perfectly. He's like, your mother never loved you.
So good.
I'm like, oh fuck, dude! People get big mad when you fuck them up in that game. It's so cathartic in the most inhumane way, because you're just fucking ruining these people's lives.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and what's even better is when you get a squeaker, when you get someone like 7 years old and they're just bawling, and it's like, I did that. I fucking
You remember me.
you remember my name, you little fuck. Yeah, I love it. So much fun.
One piece of news from Blizzard that's not,
Terrible.
terrible. So they've been doing a little, I shouldn't say little, but they've been doing a charity drive for COVID-19 response fund and all that kind of thing, where they were trying to get $1 million, and at $500,000 they were going to give an in-game pet for World of Warcraft. and then at 1 million, you'd get another one if they hit that goal. And the first one was like a little monkey ape type pet, and then the $1 million one was a sloth.
Huh.
We got both, which is cool, and it's just free for everyone who plays. So like even if you didn't donate,
Really?
you get the pets.
That's cool.
So that is cool. But we hit both goals, and the badass thing about the sloth, first of all, because you can summon your pet and he'll just be chilling on the ground, and if you run away from him, he will walk slow as fuck because he's a sloth, and it's rad. But if you actually type what's the command? Oh shit, I forget. I'm blanking. But anyway, if you type a certain command, he'll jump on your back and he'll just sit there and ride on your fucking back. And it's so great.
That's awesome.
I love it. But yeah, so that's cool.
While I was over here staring at your manga, another piece of wrestling news: the WWE sold the rights to an anime
Oh.
to Crunchyroll.
The rights to an anime.
WWE had the rights to an anime.
Oh, they had the rights and they sold it to Crunchyroll.
Do you know what it was?
They didn't say what it was, but I'm imagining it's
What fucking anime did the WWE have
I'm sure
rights over?
I'm sure that they were creating a
Like a
wrestling
wrestling?
anime.
Dude, that would actually be a pretty entertaining fucking anime, I think.
Yeah, bro.
I guess they haven't heard about Keijo.
Or Baki. Or...
Baki was whack though.
You are wrong.
I watched like 2 episodes of Baki.
Apparently, people really love Baki. I'm not... Because it's one of those 3D shows, right?
Kinda.
Yeah, it was like 3D animation. I'm not into that.
See,
I'm sorry.
I'm not normally a fan of that either. However...
Well, I mean, even the final season of Attack on Titan had some pretty fucking 3D...
It's just a lot cheaper and it's more quickly produced than.
But that
2D
other one,
animation.
that's like a wrestling anime?
Keijo?
It's not
It's-
wrestling.
yes, it is.
It's not wrestling at all.
It's butt and boob wrestling.
Oh, okay, I know. I've heard of that.
They're
one.
on top of... They're in a pool. They're in a body of water, and they're on top of a platform. And the objective is to knock the other opponent off.
Right.
With your
But
butt.
you can
With your-
only use
yeah.
your butt or your boobs. It's very Japanese.
Japan.
By the way, another piece of news, which I mentioned on the page, MODOK is finally coming out.
Oh yeah, you
Beginning
released
of
a trailer
May?
to MODOK. It's pretty rad.
Who?
It's a Marvel villain who's basically just a giant head and then little arms and legs, and he like floats in the air. But it's basically a sitcom. So it's fucking hilarious. Patton Oswalt is one of the writers, and he's also MODOK, right? But it looks bonkers as fuck, and it looks so funny. And a lot of people are like, some people. It's one of those definitely polarizing things because a lot of people are like, "Fuck you, MODOK is like this really evil." Character, and how are you going to turn him into a joke?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm with it. I'm so with it.
Yeah, I'm all about it, dude. Yeah.
I don't know why, but Krang popped into my head.
It's kind of like that. Like
Like if Krang was in a
okay.
little personal flight thingy.
Yeah, it's the MODOK is actually an acronym for mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Yeah.
But I'm super stoked
Yeah,
about
I'm
that. I
super
can't
with
wait.
Comics
Yeah.
are wild, bro.
But yeah, no, I totally want to see if it's like a real pro wrestling anime.
Yeah.
I think that would be super rad.
Oh, yeah.
And going to Crunchyroll makes me think that it's in good hands.
Yeah. Yeah, so they sold it to Crunchyroll, and it's owned by Sony now.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because
Crunchyroll
Crunchyroll
is
is a
owned by
division of Sony.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
My last piece of news. We got our series finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
oh, dude, that have you guys been watching that, Angela and Cole?
No, I watched like a half hour of the first episode and then fell asleep.
See,
Sorry.
like now, and well, I'll tell you. I mean, like I was uninterested in watching it at all because I just don't really care about Falcon as a character. I just don't. but I do love Winter Soldier. And so, like, I went ahead and watched it, and it was really good.
It made me care about Falcon as a character.
Yeah, I know, me too. Like, it was just really well done. However, apparently the series finale is one of the few times that Marvel has gotten a rotten score from Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
A lot of people were pretty let down. Like, I thought it was fine.
It's not great.
Well, I liked the final episode, because here's the thing. Like, if you go into it watching and knowing that this isn't the end, this is going to be moving into the movies, and there are a lot of things that I feel like, intentionally left open and didn't wrap up.
There's just a bunch of fake-ass Captain America fans that don't know about U.S. Agent.
I know.
Like...
Now, I will say I wasn't a fan of the Sharon Carter power broker reveal.
Yeah, not only was it bland, but it was super easy to spot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
It was just like, oh, okay, so
like,
she's the power
broker. From the word go, when Sharon Carter shows up in the series in the first place, she's just all too willing to randomly, with no qualms whatsoever, just straight up brutally murder someone. She's just like, man, fuck it, die, trash.
Oh, we need to question them? Bam, bam.
Yeah.
You're dead.
So, I mean, it was pretty obvious, like, she, at very best, wasn't necessarily a quote-unquote good, good person. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious that she was evil and probably the power broker. But yeah, I do get it. I mean, they were trying to do a lot of things with wrapping up that final episode, and it, a lot of people are like, well, it kind of ended with a whimper. And
Is it only like 5
that.
episodes?
Seven.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just like as much as WandaVision minus one, I think, right? Was WandaVision 8 episodes?
Maybe.
No, it was 9.
Was it?
I remember because I sent you that TikTok
Jesus Christ.
about it having a 10th episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. 9 episodes.
But I mean, and if you compare it to WandaVision, I mean, that series ended with a fucking bang. Mm-hmm. Bang! And so, yeah, I mean, I get it. But I was satisfied with it, though.
Yeah, I was absolutely fine with it. I was just as surprised as anyone to be like, oh, is this the series finale?
Yeah.
But it was great. I thought it was awesome. The Captain Falcon look is fucking rad as fuck.
It is.
And yeah, no, Anthony Mackie really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
So Anthony Mackie did all right, huh?
Yeah, Anthony Mackie knocks it out of the park. He went from being a character that I had no interest in the Falcon to being like, holy shit, I can't wait to see more.
Dude, and
of
that
this.
speech, though, was cool as fuck.
Oh, dude.
Like that.
I don't know, man. Every time I see Anthony Mackie, I'm like, this guy's an Avenger? His real name's Clarence.
I mean,
I forgot he was Papa Doc.
I mean, Anthony Mackie, at least in Marvel stuff, I don't know him from anything else, but like he's not a very...
He's goofy looking, man.
Well, I mean, it's not that though. Like, he's just not very exciting to me. He's kind of a bland character.
He really is. But he really knocked it out. Like I said, he really knocked it out of the park this time. He made me care about the Falcon, which is cool because I went from like, who the fuck is this, to like, I cannot wait to see more.
And I think it was, really how they leaned into the social commentary of, of being a person of color trying to not just be an Avenger, because that's fine, but like to be the lead Avenger, to be like the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be the face of the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah.
Like, just like when he was talking to what's-his-face, Isaiah, he was just like, I'm never going to let a black man be Captain America.
And why would you want to?
Yeah.
What have they done for us?
Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah, dude, it gets deep.
Yeah.
It
does.
Because most of it takes place in Louisiana. Like, when they're not on their missions and stuff, it takes place in I don't know if it's New Orleans, but it's definitely Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty cool. Check it out if you haven't. Really good.
Mortal Kombat!
Anyway.
I was wondering how long we were going to do that.
For the rest
Just the rest of the episode, that's all it is.
Yep.
So Mortal Kombat takes place in Earthworld. So what did we think? I
liked it.
I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. I agree with your assessment, Cole, that you did in the chat, where you said that as a movie it gets a B plus, or it gets a B, but as a game homage movie it gets an A plus. I think it did exactly what it set out to do as far as giving people fan service.
It was very
See, I would split it. I would say the first half of the movie, I would give like a 7 out of... Well, not even a 7. Maybe a 5 out of 10.
So, I actually liked the first half more because it was a tone setter and it was very world building.
I mean, I guess, but like, to me, it just sort of tripped over itself over and over again by trying to do a team up, or put together a team up, as well as introducing a whole new character, as well as introducing all of the other characters that people might not already be familiar with. I think it just took on too much. And the new character that they introduced, sorry, I don't... It was just very bland. I just
wish he had a better name. I think he was okay.
Why do you think the name Cole is bland?
Cole Young is just like the most generic name I've ever heard in my life.
Well, a generic name for a generic character, you know?
I guess, yeah.
But like,
generic.
I'm saying a lot of hate for this character, and I actually kind of really liked him.
I liked him. Cool. I liked him once he got his shit together.
Yeah, once
I thought it was kind of weird because they didn't really elaborate on his relationship with this little girl.
Yeah,
like
the
they
whole
didn't
time
talk
we thought
about
it was his sister.
Yeah, and then like
it's his daughter,
and then the
and
woman
the
comes up
I
next to him at this diner, and then he kisses her, and I was like, I straight up thought that was his mom.
Yeah,
that's the other problem that I had with it, was that like they wanted you to care about his family. Because, you know, not halfway through, but towards the end.
And like with the whole Arcana thing, I thought that they were just going to kill off the family. So
Me too.
So he could get his Arcana.
But see, like, you know, once his family is in danger and Sub-Zero's frozen him, you know, I knew I was supposed to be upset or, you know, have some sort of emotional response, but like... That just wasn't. Yeah, that just wasn't there because I was like, I barely even know who these fucking people are. He doesn't even seem to care that much about him. Why would I?
I would have much rather them die.
Yeah,
honestly,
because that's what I was expecting. Because it would have been like, it would have been enough character development to
right.
believe that he like has this power.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, and I don't know. Just his backstory was so phoned in.
Right.
It felt very safe for me.
Yeah.
Like that's the main thing I felt like about the majority of this movie is it feels very safe because we know A, how bad video game movies are, and B, how bad Mortal Kombat movies are. Mm-hmm. So it's like I feel like they made kind of a lot of safe decisions, and in a way they did, like you said, Derek, they did trip over themselves here and there. I think like the second half of the movie is phenomenal. The first half of the movie I'm really kind of easy on because I'm like, you know, this is a huge task for you to be taking on.
Right.
And like, so it's not necessarily like, and not only that, my expectations for this movie were below the ground.
Yeah, mine too.
Like they were, like I was like, whatever it is, like I'm not a big lore guy for Mortal Kombat. I love the games. I think they're fucking rad. It really kind of peaked with 10 for me, Mortal Kombat X, like, and then 11 I'm not really into. Just design choices. I just with the overall defense being like the main thing in Mortal Kombat 11, I'm just not about it. But I played Mortal Kombat 10 heavy, and I played Mortal Kombat 9 even more. So like, I love these games. I'm not big into the lore. I don't give a fuck. Like, really, the only thing that I give a shit about is Sub-Zero and Scorpion's backstory.
Right.
Which they delivered fucking hand and, like, in spades with this movie. Like, that's the best
Well,
fucking part of this movie.
The lore isn't the point of Mortal Kombat. It never has been. It's there. Like, they create a reason for these fighters to be doing what they're doing, but that's really secondary. Like, that's not the point.
There are Mortal Kombat fans that will fight you on
Well,
that.
no, I know, but like
Mortal Kombat's probably the only fighter that has the deeply rich story that it does. Like,
Right,
Street Fighter
but,
doesn't
like-
have this, like any of those other.
But to
like-
play the game, it's completely unimportant. You can just play the game.
Well, yeah, but you can
know.
play any game.
I mean, yeah, true.
That's what I'm saying. Is like Mortal Kombat. The story matters to people.
Right. Well, I'm not saying it doesn't matter to people. I'm just saying, like, that's not important to know to have a great time playing the game at all. You know, it's just to me that's just
But then again, we wouldn't have a movie.
right.
Like,
I'm just saying
if we didn't have a
it's
story.
there for the people that like it, but it's none of the gameplay relies on it.
Here, I mean, you could make an argument about that because
Sure.
like when you're playing a Scorpion against Sub-Zero, like there's still that history there, so you understand like the
Right.
gravity.
But you don't need to
and
at
it's
all.
funny. Well, you don't need to, but it amplifies the experience.
Right.
Depending on who you are.
Well,
You can say that about any.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people like anal and some people don't like anal. Like I
People
get
don't like anal.
Who does not like him?
mostly women, but but it's just
Then you're
something.
doing it wrong.
There's
Why
just
are you
some.
guys looking at me? Both of you guys looked at me.
Just I glanced over at you because you were laughing.
I don't know. And I agree with you because like Mortal Kombat isn't about the story for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, like in the beginning it was just cool ninjas decapitating each other.
Right.
And like the violence and the blood and everything was pretty much like the only reason why I was into this game.
Yeah.
But
Well, like there's a lot of like really cool Easter eggs in both the games and the movies.
Right.
Like Noob Saibot is a play on. It's an anagram for
Ed Boon.
Ed Boon,
Oh,
which is awesome to me.
So it's Ed Boon and Tobias, the
Yeah.
other guy that made Mortal Kombat. Saibot is Tobias backwards.
I like, and that's the nice thing about the first movie, you know, from the 90s, is that, you know, yeah, they knew they had to introduce the characters, and they did it, but they did it very quickly and straightforward and moved the fuck on. And they didn't introduce a whole new character that wasn't already a part of the universe. And so I think that's where this movie struggled compared to the previous one.
And I think people's criticisms of Cole is well founded. I don't think like I'm not gonna sit here and die on this hill that he's a great character because
Right.
I don't think he's even a great character. I'm just seeing a lot of hate thrown his way, and I'm like, me personally, I'm just like, I didn't
Yeah, I mean,
notice like a big problem with him.
This movie is a lot more polarizing than I expected it to be because, like, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. It's not that big of a fucking deal.
Well, not only that, like, it's what I said in the beginning, expectations.
Right.
Did you really expect this movie to be anything other than bearable?
Well, I mean, the last half, though, was fucking way more than bearable. Like, the last half was fucking amazing.
I
And
would
and
argue
so
that the
much fan
first,
service.
like, what, 10 minutes of the movie? Fucking awesome.
Well-
Probably better than the majority of the
Well,
movie.
yeah, I just mean, like, once they switched to current times, quote unquote, and, you know, that half of the movie, and
There's just so much that they did right where I'm like, it's just kind of, and again, this is just personal, me personally. They did so much right that it just fucking is just outshining all the bad shit.
well, yeah, because even the bad shit wasn't bad. It was just
Yeah.
ho-hum, you know?
Like I didn't like Reptile's design. I thought it was
didn't either.
fucking stupid. He just looked like a monster.
Yeah,
It reminded me of those monsters from the first movie, though, that, you know...
Yeah, but that's fucking stupid, though.
No, it did. It
like,
was.
Reptile's
I-
a fucking ninja. Like, he
Yeah.
should have had, like, the whole ninja get-up and everything.
But I wonder
like,
if that was just, like, kind of a nod to the original. I don't
it could have
know.
been.
Because those
could've
those
been.
reptiles did, when they would, you know, get too close to the statue or whatever, it pulled them in, and then they became the person. Mm-hmm. You know?
That's true.
So I wonder if it was a nod to that. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. And then there's like a lot of weird decisions. Like Kung Lao's fucking dead.
Right? They killed
Kung
off...
Lao's fucking dead, bro.
So,
Again.
So, but he's dead in the after 10 though too.
Yeah, but they're not. It's not. They're obviously not following the games though. Like they're just like Jax loses his arms to Sub-Zero in this one, where in the games he lost his arms to.
Shao Kahn, was it?
No, I can't remember, but it's in Mortal Kombat 9 because Mortal Kombat 9 was
loses them in a prison. In 9, I remember he's like in a jail.
Mortal
cell.
Kombat 9 was like a reboot where they retold the entirety
Just
of the
retcon.
story. Yeah. But I can't remember. He's lost his arms to like 3 different people at this point, so it's
Yeah.
like. And I think him losing him to Sub-Zero is way fucking cooler.
Yeah, I agree.
In my personal opinion. And the costume designer for this movie needs to be kissed all over their body.
And I was talking to somebody who hates the costumes.
It was Nathan.
No, it was one of my other friends.
Oh.
You're fucking high.
Well, I told him, I was like, well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, they went with a much more, like, earthy, realistic feel of the costumes, which is kind of the direction the games have taken, is they're not as cartoony now.
Yeah.
They're a lot more, like, realistic-ish. And so he was like, oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm as straight as an arrow, but fucking Scorpion's design gets me hard as a fucking rock, dude. Dude, he looks fucking great in this. And
Dude,
I really like
the actor.
costumes.
Yeah, the actor they chose for both of them for Hanzo and Bihan, dude. They were like even Liu Kang, dude. Liu Kang was perfect to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was great. I want Raiden to be better for some. I think.
Yeah,
I didn't
Raiden
like
was
Raiden.
a douche.
I didn't like Raiden.
Yeah.
And Kano stole the show.
Oh,
Well, yeah, but Cabal was fucking sick, too.
Cabal was dope, but like,
But Kano
for the 2 minutes
like,
he was on
well,
screen.
yeah, true. But like, yeah, no, Kano fucking was
Yeah.
great, and I loved the original Kano, but like this dude is fucking badass.
all the fan servicey things in this movie were
So great.
amazing, dude.
Yeah, they were.
You know, when Kung Lao beats Nitara and says flawless victory.
Because he
Yeah.
never touched her.
Yeah, because she never got a lick in.
Yeah.
Or when Reiko and Jax fight on that death bridge.
Yeah.
Which is one of the like original levels and shit. It was just,
Who the fuck is Reiko?
I don't know.
What game is he from?
No idea.
He is a playable Mortal Kombat character.
Is he?
What game is he from?
I don't know.
What game is Nitara from?
I don't know. I didn't know either of them.
I'm sitting here going like, I feel like a fake ass fan.
Right?
I mean, they're probably just kind of
I think-
using him to toss him into the meat grinder and.
I think Reiko was in the 3D Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 4.
What about Natiri?
Natara.
Deadly Alliance.
That's the 3D one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance is where she's from. They did. Those were some serious pulls.
Deep pull.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they just didn't want to, have to immediately kill off some actual.
Well, there's like almost
funny 'cause
100
they-
fucking characters
Well, I
in Mortal
know.
Kombat lore. Like,
But they killed off like some really important
They
characters.
did.
Like Melina.
Yeah.
Melina is the clone of
Kitana.
Kitana,
Yeah.
who is the daughter of
Sindel?
Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn and Zindel.
Yeah.
And Melina is like a huge, like she's a big fucking deal because
And they dispatched her fucking quick, too.
well, and
Yeah.
so at the end of 10, I think she dies.
Uh-huh.
And then they reincarnate her in 11, I think.
I don't really like her in this movie.
Yeah, I don't either.
either.
I don't like her character design at all.
Yeah.
The only thing that was cool was her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ass. Boy, she got that ass.
But
Oh, trust me, she had a dump truck.
but yeah, like Melina's a big deal in the games because basically Shao Kahn like banishes his daughter Kitana and replaces her with Melina. Like Melina's the daughter that he always wanted. So I don't know. It's just it's a weird pick for me that they did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of a cool thing to see Cabal in here, though.
Yeah.
It was like I really liked the way they did Cabal.
And
was pretty.
I don't know. You can make an argument that Kung Lao and Liu Kang were kind of boring.
They were
I thought
simple.
Liu Kang was
I thought
amazing.
I thought they were
Great,
simple.
they're great picks. Like the actors that played them, they were great. They're just kind of like
Simple is the word.
and the whole thing of like them like bullying Kano
Yeah,
into
that was
finding out his
awesome.
Arcana was, it was funny while it lasted, but I was like, would they really do that?
I think they would.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I do.
I mean, I think they would in
Younger
the
versions.
just in the knowledge of like, hey, this is totally gonna,
Yeah, like
get his Arcana to
Well,
be revealed.
they'll be like,
He's
this
like-
is the only way that he understands. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So we got to
He's
do
like
it anyway.
this. We have to get under his skin because
Exactly.
he's that type of guy.
yeah, I don't think they were doing it for the purpose of being
And like,
mean.
who fucking saw his betrayal coming?
Like
the
a mile
whole
away,
fucking
bro.
Well,
time.
and so at the beginning,
Well, it's Kano. I mean,
Cole was like, "Isn't Kano a bad guy?"
I
And I'm
always
like, yeah.
remember Kano being
I'm
a bad
like,
guy.
yeah, he's very wishy washy. Whatever's best for him.
So I was like, why the fuck is he working with the good guys in this?
Yeah,
And I'm
no.
like, I saw that coming a mile away.
No, yeah.
But he dies in this movie, so.
Yeah, which is another weird thing.
He
Yeah.
dies in the games too.
But
I
they're not truly dead though.
Right.
Because like it shows
Yeah.
fucking what's his name? Shang Tsung.
Death is just another portal.
Yeah. Because when Sub-Zero died, I was like, no way. Like Bihan Sub-Zero is fucking awesome and he's such a dickhead. Like, dude, Bihan Sub-Zero is where it's at.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh fuck. Like they really did him in. And then he comes up and smoke rises and I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm sure we'll see them again. They did say that if this movie does well, that they'll be making 3 more.
Which I kind of think that ship has sailed. I mean, I feel like that's kind of inevitable. At
3
this
more
point.
is too much. Do 2 more.
Yeah.
Like, really, turn this thing into a trilogy if you really want to. Because I feel like 4 movies would really be overstaying its welcome. Like, let's not Fast and the Furious this thing.
Or let's.
No.
No.
Or
no.
let's.
No.
Are they really going to space in this new one?
No, I don't think they're going to space in this new one. I think they're going to space in the
Oh,
next
for
one.
God's sake.
No, this is the one with John Cena,
John
as,
Cena.
as Dominic Toretto's younger brother.
Dude, it's sweaty car guy soap opera.
Let's go.
I want to see it.
Let's go.
we love to see it.
I don't know.
To see it, folks. We love to see it.
That's my whole thing with this movie is like I'm sitting here thinking like, God damn, they fucking nail the things that they do hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God fucking damn, the fights between Sub-Zero and Scorpion are so fucking great.
Dude, both of those guys are so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I cringed a little at every time they said like a video game line. Like even the flawless
Finish
victory.
him.
Yeah, the finish him. I'm like, stop it. And then when Kano fucking, he's like, Kano wins. And I'm like,
I thought that was
Really?
awesome.
I loved
Dude, I
it, man.
love
That
those.
was, that was what I was watching
I
it
love
for.
the candy cheese. Like, that's what I was here for.
That's
Yeah.
what I loved about the old ones too.
And is that the only move you know?
Yes.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
dude.
I
Oh,
fucking screamed when that shit happened, dude. I was like, dude, that's
I don't know
so
how to do any
fucking-
other moves. I guess I'll just spam.
Yeah, you know, and it's true. And it was always with Liu Kang too. It was always with Liu Kang where they would spam the
it's
sweep.
always with Liu Kang,
Yeah.
bro. Fucking bicycle kick asshole.
I mean, it did what it set out to do. I think, in my opinion, it went fan service. Mm-hmm. I knew that the dialogue and the story to this movie was going to be trash as fuck going in.
See, but I don't really think it's trash. So it's not good by any means, but I don't think it's trash. Bro. I think it's fucking serviceable.
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
I enjoyed myself.
I did too.
I mean,
It's a vessel to get you to what you actually want, which is Jack super clapping a dude's fucking head.
like if you look at it this way, like, so let's take Marvel for example, right? So they had their Avengers movie, which was preceded by solo movie, like setup, and then that. Here we got it all in one movie, and it was still pretty fucking decent.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like a really good DC movie.
that is way better. It's way better than any DC movie. That is way better than I was expecting, and I'm here for it.
Dude,
you know?
I am so pleased with this movie. Like
that the next movie is gonna set up Shao Kahn, and it's gonna do like all this other shit. Katana is gonna come in. It's already confirmed that fucking Cage is gonna be in there.
Did you guys catch the Katana's fan at the training temple?
Yep.
Loved that shit.
Yep. The little blue fan with the blades on it. Yep. You saw it right away.
I'm a little upset that they didn't do the.
I kind of was
they
too. I was
they didn't
hoping.
get that in there like at all. There is a nut shot though.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the most
yes.
weird way ever. It's the fight between Hanzo and Bihan in the very beginning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hanzo fucking punches Bihan in the nuts. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that. That and like another cringy moment is when the wife was yelling out, "Use your uppercut!" And I'm like,
That's his daughter.
that his daughter the one that said
That was
it?
the daughter that was
Yeah,
saying
because she told him to use it in the beginning.
in the cage.
In the cage, and had he used it, he probably would have won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's just kind of a bitch in the beginning, and then he like never really overcomes that vibe.
right.
Which is, I think, the biggest problem with Cole in the entirety of the movie is he just kind of seems like a bitch.
Well,
like,
yeah,
there's just really
like
nothing.
his whole backstory is he's a shitty fighter.
Yeah, he's
like
a
that's his
loser.
backstory.
He's a
Like,
loser orphan.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any parents.
He used to be good, but he sucks now.
That's one of the
Like,
things I do wish the movie had is I wish they would have leaned into more of his Hasashi lineage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, they're going to.
Right.
They're going to go into it more. Personally, I don't give a fuck. Like, this guy's dad could have died in 9/11. I couldn't fucking care less. Like, he's just a vessel for the person watching the movie.
Right.
Well, and that's what it kind of seemed like, is that he was the stand-in for the audience. Like, he was the vessel for the exposition.
Yeah. Like
They
he's
could have
what
just
helped-
made him a little bit more memorable.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Like
I honestly hope he becomes a character in the game.
As DLC, that'd be fucking cool.
I think because that's one of the things that we don't have in a Mortal Kombat game is an MMA fighter. If you could just imagine like the elbow strikes or
Grappling. And all that.
like the grapple. You could have so many of those chain grapple
So many
things.
activities.
Like the chain grapples alone on something like that would
Yeah.
be super rad.
I thought that his fight between him and Goro was really well done.
I think
That
so
was
too.
cool.
I remember thinking, I'm like, you're sending fucking Goro for this guy? Like,
Yeah.
really?
Oh, and
Talk about overkill.
speaking of Goro, the CGI in this movie rocked. Like, it looked
It really
good.
did. It really did. It was super subtle and it didn't like look too overtly CG. I think they did a great job.
thought it
Yeah,
worked.
it wasn't like super cartoony or ridiculous.
I mean, I don't think we're ever going to get to the point where it's like, oh, that looks like real life, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, it still looks really good, you know? Especially Goro. Goro looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that this movie did what it set out to do. Like I said earlier, like it just completed fan service.
Yeah.
Like
safe.
Yeah, it was super safe.
fan service.
And
Which
I mean-
doesn't necessarily make it a bad movie.
No.
Right,
That's
it's
what you
fun-
want from a Mortal Kombat movie. I mean,
And it's funny because like you can't please all the fanboys ever. Because I promise you, if they had taken out all of the cheesy shit,
It would have been bad.
they
Yeah.
would have been
It
upset
would have
about
been like
that.
fucking Justice
It's
League.
like watching Friends without the laugh track.
right?
I will say
and you
no
realize
one,
that show is not nearly as funny as everyone thinks it is. I totally agree.
no one will ever beat 90s Mortal Kombat Shang Tsung. For me. I love that dude. I
pretty great.
love
I
that
love
dude.
that dude.
I do. He was the embodiment of Shang Tsung. Like,
Yeah, but this Shang Tsung didn't do too bad.
no, he didn't. He didn't.
And I like that they didn't try to make him that guy from the 90s.
That would not have worked.
Yeah, like they took an entirely new take on what Shang Tsung would be, and they just like, well, let's work with this instead of trying to mirror what they had in the 90s. That's one of the things I love about this movie too, is the fact that it wasn't a mirror of the 90s. It was just like, there wasn't even a tournament, and I'm not even mad.
Yeah, I know. Cause
It's like setting up for a tournament, and we're just like, where's the tournament?
Because, yeah, Eddie and I talked about that after, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that a tournament didn't happen. That didn't even enter my mind that, like, hey, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, I was fine with it.
Another part that I thought was funny and cheesy was when Cole was looking at Sonya's freaky collection of things, and he's like, they really call it that? They spelt it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I don't know. Like, really, my only... I'm so jaded because I don't fucking care anymore. Because I'm like, hey, bro, like, this movie could have been dog shit. And I would have been like, yeah, see? Told ya. You know? Like, like everyone else. But the fact is like, it did go above and beyond my expectations. Which, you know, doesn't say much considering how low they are. But, like, now I have expectations for the next movie. Where you can prove yourself. Really, the only thing I want more is...
test their might.
I just want more cheese. I just want it to be cheesy, because, like, that's all that fucking game is to me, is just a cheese fest, man.
I was going to say exactly what you said, but I had candy in my mouth.
Sorry that I took that from you.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just glad that someone said it.
It was great. It hit the notes it needed to hit. Yeah. It had the fan service. It had the awesome graphics with the fatalities and everything. Like, I loved it. I thought it was great. That
Kung Lao fatality was probably my favorite thing in that whole...
Dude, I remember I had...
When freaking Kano called him Kung Pao, I almost fell off the couch.
I lost my shit, too.
So, that fatality of Kung Lao's is fucking insane. And I remember... I have vivid memories of seeing that fatality for the first time. Because... on the Town DVD, they had a preview for Mortal Kombat 9 on there. Oh. Like, it was like a little preview commercial for it, and it showed off that fatality, and I remember thinking, like, I'm buying that fucking game. Because of that fatality. Like, that shit is fucking sick.
Yeah, dude, it was... Is that what
it's like one of the most brutal fucking fatalities that they've ever done.
Agreed, yeah. Dude, yeah, that and the Jax fatality, of course. I gotta go with my boy.
Yeah.
That's my main. But I don't know.
I thought like when he was gonna finish him off, he was gonna do like the rapid punch that he has in Mortal Kombat 11, but they didn't do that. I was kind of bummed.
I love the
clap.
The clap is fucking awesome, but the metallic clang of bone hitting against the metal. That shit's so fucking cool.
I love that was his Arcana too. Was manifesting his arms.
Yeah.
I thought that was
like they gave him like baby arms.
I knew they were gonna do that obviously, but like I just kind of didn't like that. In general, Arcanas only happen when you are like trying to use them, but other people like Jax, once it's there, it's just there.
Well, I mean, they didn't even explain Sonya's.
Yeah, well, I mean, until she did it.
Right. They're just like, hey, I killed Kano and all of a sudden I have an Arcana.
Yeah, exactly. Like, other people have to try really hard to figure out theirs, but hers is just like, here it is! Like, so that was really inconsistent.
I didn't really care for Sonya. And
she was super, super white bread.
Yeah. I love her.
Milk toast.
I love her. She's fucking awesome.
She wasn't even thick.
She needed to have way more attitude.
She wasn't even thick.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I just thought that she was like trailer trash.
Yeah, to me,
why the fuck is she living in a trailer park?
I think she needs way more attitude. Like, the only time she copped attitude was with Kano because he was copping attitude.
Yeah.
But like, I think she just needs to kind of be more.
She gets more attitude around Johnny because they have a kid together. And then,
well, yeah.
But I don't know. One of my favorite lines was the moment that Kano got his Arcana. He's like, "Better than fireballs, you pussy!"
Yes. So fucking funny, dude. I love him so.
He was super funny.
He was amazing. I hope that he goes places.
Yeah.
His actor was really good.
I should look him up and see what else he's doing.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that the movie was filmed in Australia?
Yeah.
Like the whole movie.
Yeah. All right. Well, what would you give this as from a 1 to 10 rating? 1 being the worst piece of shit you've ever seen, and 10 being the best ever.
If I'm including everything in the first half that I was super meh about, I would say 7. 7 out of 10.
I'm also gonna go with a 7 out of 10. I thought it was very serviceable, very entertaining. Definitely lacked a story, but that's not really why I go.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'd say 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
The series is really special to me, and it's one of like the first games that Cole and I ever played together. Was Mortal Kombat 9, and then he sold the PS3, and then we never played it again. and we used to have parties. We used to have parties at our apartment all the time, and we'd do Mortal Kombat 10 tournaments, and that was really, really fun. And
dude, when Mortal Kombat 10 came out, that was a fucking event for us. Like, that shit was so cool. And then I, like, never got any of the DLC, which is fucking wild, because it had, like,
we got them.
We bought all the DLC?
Yep, I remember
well, we didn't get them the
playing
day
as the
they
Queen.
came out.
I remember
It's
playing
not
as
the
Alien.
Queen. It's just a xenomorph. One of the fatalities includes the Queen, but it's not.
Well, I remember playing as Anyways, I love this series. I think I watched one of the original movies like a long time ago, but I don't remember anything.
I've never
about
seen
it.
them.
You never seen?
I've never seen the 90s movies.
Oh, you need to see those.
I was thinking that we should probably.
I mean,
probably
Annihilation
watch
is totally skippable.
I've heard Annihilation is like one of the worst movies
It's
ever made.
absolutely
Really?
skippable, but the first, like, at least watch the first one.
Yeah. I plan on it.
But with all that said, I think that this movie did very well in showing how special the series is. And for that, I am going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
The way that I see it is that there's two different ratings here. Because I feel like it's almost impossible to not look at this movie for what it's trying to achieve and what it does achieve. And how it's going to be perceived. So, and you know, like, I'm not a huge movie guy. Like, there's movies that I do love. Like, my favorite movie of all time is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that should tell you something. Or it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, it's the good one.
Okay.
The one with, you know,
Sorry, Johnny Depp.
Movie's fine.
No offense.
That movie's fine. Like, I don't find it like offensive or anything.
It's not special like the first one.
Like, it has its own little Tim Burton-y thing.
Yeah, of course.
I hate that we're derailing this, but, like, I fucking love that movie. Like, I tear up every time I watch that movie just because it's so special to me. And for, like, really no reason other than, like, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not a big movie guy, but I do have special movies. And I think one thing that, like, really kind of raised this movie up to, like, a higher echelon for me was the music. Like, the music in this movie is fucking awesome, especially with this like symphonic rendition of the.
I mean, I was gonna be really sad if they didn't include that.
I mean, it's
some version.
really good.
When
Some version of it.
When they dropped the title card, I was like, Mortal, and then I was like, they didn't say it.
Yeah.
They didn't say it when they dropped the title card. I thought it was really.
I don't know, man. As a movie, it's not great. Like, it's not great, but I feel like it's serviceable. I've seen worse movies for sure.
I mean, I feel like you have to, like, you can look at it as a movie, and then look at it as a video game movie.
Which is how I'm looking at it. Like, I see this as like a somewhat okay movie. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the kind of movie that really serves its purpose, where it's like it's nothing but just to suck down a whole thing of Diet Coke and just fucking gorge yourself on a thing of popcorn. But as a video game movie, I think it excels, because it definitely just has little moments where it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do.
Right.
You're applying this to me in a way that most movies don't. Because most movies are fucking pretentious and they're stupid, and it's like they're trying to force some kind of bullshit fucking thing down your throat. No, this is just like a movie. It's just a movie to watch. It's cool. It's got some blood in it. Like, it's fucking...
got a lot of blood
It's
in
fucking
it.
violent as hell. Like, fucking Hanzo Hasashi just decimating a whole fucking troop of ninjas in the beginning is amazing.
Oh,
Will
God,
never
that was
not
cool.
be amazing. Like, and when he fucking, like, stabs the whole fucking katana in the guy's head, and it just, boom, like a volcano of blood just comes out. I'm like, very, very fake, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Like, fucking amazing. Like, and I can't hate it, man. Like, and when I saw that Nathan didn't like it, I was like, oh, that fucking sucks. Because, like, you just
We
don't...
all care about what Nathan thinks.
I do. Well, and it's not that. It's just like, oh, that's someone who doesn't get it. So, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
It's just like, oh, someone didn't get what they were going for, which is a fault on the movie, not on the person.
Right.
I mean, I'll say that, like, the only video game movie that I thought did its job better than this was Sonic.
Yeah.
See, and I
haven't
can't. I haven't seen it, but I have heard that it's really great. Besides the fact that as a collective society, we bullied the fuck out of that company to make him look more like Sonic, which and in all reality, Sonic needs to just be taken out back in Old Yellard. Like, we just need to stop with Sonic,
Yikes.
like big time.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
We need to stop with Sonic.
It's a hot take right there.
It's not a hot take. I said what most people are thinking.
No.
But I do see the similarities between, like, that's another good video game movie. This is a good video game movie. And then Detective Pikachu apparently was a really good video game
I
movie.
liked it. I liked
So
it.
we're like kind of. I don't want to say nothing. I want to. I want to knock on wood.
We're we're kind of in like a golden age of.
I don't want to say that
trying to
because
do
now
right.
it's gonna fucking suck. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to voodoo us.
I don't believe in that dumb shit.
So
what
fuck
is your-
horoscopes.
So, after that horribly long-winded explanation, what is your rating?
Fuck you. You know I'm verbose. 7 out of 10 for a movie. Two thumbs up for a video game movie.
What? No, you can't switch to a different rating
Yes,
system.
I can.
Well, fucker didn't even know about Siskel and Ebert before I told you about it.
No, I know about Ebert. I just didn't know who the fuck Siskel
How did you
was.
know about one and not the other? what the fuck?
Because Roger Ebert is like a guy like that everyone knows about.
He's
the guy that said that
he's the
E.T.'s
guy.
You don't have Ebert without Siskel.
Jesus Christ.
You don't have Siskel without Ebert, bro.
Well, I did.
Just knew about Ebert for no reason.
That's like, who the fuck is Bert? I know Ernie.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Going into future movies, if they do end up being made, what do you expect?
Johnny Cage.
I really would absolutely fall out if they picked Miz to be Johnny Cage.
I think that they'll stick with nobodies.
You think?
For their cast, yeah.
I hope
I
they
think
do.
that's better.
I mean,
Well,
that's cool too.
Jax is one of the more. He's
No.
still lesser known, but he's still one of the more known actors in that movie because he plays Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl. But
I mean, he was more ripped than I thought he would be.
honestly, this movie felt really short to me, and it was 2 hours long. Mm-hmm. I feel like if they added maybe a half hour to the next one, just really flesh it out, I think it would do some service.
Even the lulls that I felt comprised the first half of the movie weren't a slog.
Yeah.
Like they weren't difficult or they didn't feel long or labored.
I don't know. I want to go into the next one with a similar mindset where I'm just like, this movie's going to be dog shit. Like, I don't have any expectations at all.
Tell you what, do this. Watch the first one from the 90s and then watch Annihilation and go, yeah, the second one's probably going to be as bad as that second one.
Well, that's where I'm at. That's why, and like the thing is though, is like I had a moment where I was like, I screamed out. I was like, these motherfuckers know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like I think it was when somehow Scorpion's katana got stuck in the chain and he pulled the chain and the katana like spun towards him and he caught it. I'm like, these motherfuckers know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like they know what they're doing when it comes to like...
Oh yeah, dude, like when in that same scene when Scorpion pushes Sub-Zero off and he bumps up against the katana that's like stuck to the floor.
And he
like slices his back.
Yeah, I want to say this like right now for future reference, so when we do get that movie and if it is shit, I can go back and I'll be like, whatever, you know. I have faith in these guys. Mm-hmm. Like, they know what they're doing. The people that are behind this movie, they know what they're doing. They made some mistakes, and I think that they know what they did.
Well, and if nothing else, the fight scenes were fucking amazing, and at the core of it, that's what these movies are about.
They can cut down on the quick cuts.
Yeah,
with the fights. That's really my only...
That's true.
That's my only gripe with the fights, is like, we need to quit, because it's just ugly. Like, have more long cut shots where you're doing... Because, like, it's very clear that, like, the choreography with these fights is really, really good, but you're not conveying that very well I guess, when you're doing quick cuts all the fucking time. Like, I understand that it's
easier to do it that way, but, I mean...
Have longer form shots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That was one of the things, because it reminded me sometimes of, like Transformers. Remember how the Transformers fought with like super close-up shots?
You said that. Didn't you say it feels like I'm watching a Transformers movie?
That's what I said.
No.
Somebody said
but I did say something like that.
Yeah. What were we watching that you said that?
I can't remember. It was something recent.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Was it a scary movie?
No, it was freaking Mortal Kombat, I swear.
I don't remember. But yeah, that's really my only gripe with the fight scenes is like your choreography is fucking amazing. We want to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we wanted to see it.
I feel like those fighters can totally pull off long.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
God damn, Liu Kang in this movie is fucking cut, bro.
Dude,
that dude's fucking muscles. Good lordy, he didn't have he had nothing. Fat was a fucking anomaly on that man's body. Like. Dude.
And
fucking crazy.
If you want to check out Nick's review, you can find that on our page.
Yeah, yes. That's true. Yep.
Because he is absent.
Yes, he is not here today.
He's in California.
Yeah, he's in California. So go check out his review on the movie. I think that wraps it up for us. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at The Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at NerdCorp Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search The Nerd Corporation and look out for our green NC logo.
And if you want a guide to the best fatalities, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcorppodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extra episodes and bonus content. We'd like to thank our patrons, Glenn the Simp, Fillmore McLaurin, and Jake Hurst, and our nerd financial investor, Kim Nichols.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. If you can't make a monthly commitment, consider supporting us on PayPal, paypal.me/nerdcorppodcast. We want to have the best loot, the best equipment, and give you the best nerdy listening experience, and that is the best way to do that. So for the Nerd Corporation, on behalf of Nick Lewis, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Derek Reese.
And I'm Angela Wooden.
Keep it nerdy, y'all.